and I'm about to butcher the shit out of my favorite fucking movie because I can't speak English.
No, you won't. It's your second language. Frost,
sHUA,
Mercer,
and we're gonna do something fucking weird
because I suggested it.
He pronounced it perfectly.
Strange.
That is so weird.
It's still early. Give it time, and he's been drinking.
Very much so. If we had the power to remake one movie and had the money and had executive power over everything, which one movie would we create to our liking?
Go, sHUA.
Mine would be the Dunwich Horror, which was released, I believe, around 1970. It starred Dean Stockwell, Sandra Dee, and Ed Begley Sr. The premise of the movie is it surrounds a book. It has supernatural powers that is linked to like another dimension, a gateway. It takes place in a little town. Sandra Dee is a college student. Dean Stockwell is he's a local in the town.
Right.
That is knowledgeable. Ed Begley plays the professor. I guess he's the professional on the subject.
What was your major problem with the actual?
The fact that you don't see the younger brother. Like there's a younger brother who, come to find out, spoiler alert, Dean Stockwell is the older brother, and he comes out normal. Dean Stockwell's mother was one of the gateways, which the book was. It's like a ritual. Yeah.
Okay.
The book is a ritual.
A necessary piece of said ritual. Okay.
The book is a ritual that gives gateway to like another to like a not really an Antichrist, but like a fifth dimension kind of thing. But you only see like with the when you get to meet Dean Stockwell, when he takes Sandra Dee back to the house, like you meet like the servants and everything. There's an upstairs and in 1970s movies there's always an attic with a
door you can't open.
Right, that you're not a room that you're not supposed to go into.
Right.
And this is where the younger brother is, but the younger brother came out just like the father. The last 15 minutes of the movie, Dean Stockwell is performing the ritual with Sandra Dee to, open up this other dimension. In doing so, the younger brother like loses his shit and breaks out of the room, and Ed Begley is the only character left that knows how to stop the ritual.
Right.
But you only see the younger brother for a glimpse, and he's like this moss-covered thing with tentacles. So it's only like the only thing I can figure is like it's like a Cthulhu kind of character. But I would like to remake it to where you see more of that and you get more of a backstory, because in the beginning of this, it's one of those movies where during the opening credits, there's animation. And the opening credits are key because it gives you through the animation, you get to know what the ritual consists of. And the soundtrack is fucking phenomenal. I would keep the original soundtrack to it.
Very, very detailed and very succinct, and not exactly what I thought you wanted out of this review. But you said you were unprepared, and sir, that was bullshit. Mercer, go.
Mine would have to be another movie, also a movie from either the 60s or 70s, called Witchfinder General. Witchfinder General is actually based off of a real person. Can't remember his last name. His first name's Matthew something, but basically it takes place in all the witch trials when they were hunting down all the witches. It takes place in Britain.
So like the old school witch trials, not like the shit over here.
No, this was around the time, probably actually 20 years after it started, because how it really started was there was a man, he had a handmaiden, he got sick, the handmaiden made him better, and he was like, how did she make me better? How did she heal me? And he catches her sneaking out one night, and she comes back later in the morning after the sun had come up.
Right.
And there's him and 2 other guys just torturing her, trying to say, confess that you're a witch, and this will stop. She was, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do this. So finally, it gets to the point where she's been tortured so much to the point where she finally just gives up and says, yes, I'm a witch. You're right.
that was a common occurrence. Even here in the United States. I mean, a lot of
basically,
so-called witches were...
Right.
If you were a free-thinking
they were like, yes,
woman,
God, stop!
Right.
Well, it started out that way, then it kind of calmed down, and then it's picked back up again, I think probably like maybe somewhere between 6 to 10 years later, maybe longer, give or take. But there was a guy, he was talking about, we need to go back out because they're still out there and we need to hunt down these witches and kill them. And there's this kid sitting in the back of the crowd who's like, I want to help you. So he goes out and helps, but then he ends up actually making a name for himself just using some just ungodly techniques. Like there was a woman that she was being accused of witchcraft, and he would go and he would sit her down. They would make her get up, pace her back and forth in the room. They wouldn't let her sleep, and this went on for 2 weeks. 2 weeks without sleep.
You'll go crazy.
Hardly water, just aching. And she was an old, elderly woman too.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, you go crazy.
Yeah. And this guy was. This guy was just a bastard, and he took on the name Witchfinder General. They've ended up making a movie about him, which Vincent Price made or played the Witchfinder General.
I could fully see him playing that role to like an age teen.
It was already really dark, but as opposed to how it was perceived then, back in like the 60s, 70s, if I was to take it and remake it, I would maybe elaborate more on how fucked up this person really was.
So you would take it like deeper and darker and go like down into the torture chamber kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Which it's been touched on by in more modern day movies, of course, but as far as that story goes, it's intense. There's actually a documentary on it. I believe it's on Netflix. It's either on Netflix or something somewhere, but it's called Witches is the name of the documentary, and he's part of it. And it all starts in Britain. I think in Scotland actually was when it started. Frost.
You're up.
I went for low-hanging fruit, to be honest. I went with World War Z. Giant. I read the book, like the actual physical book. I fucking got the audio book and I listened to it religiously. I loved it. I was a huge fan of the Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks and a huge fan of World War Z by Max Brooks. They made the movie and it was so fucking drastically different that it pissed me off. I really would have, if I had the unlimited budget, I would have compartmentalized it like they did in the book. Everyone's individual stories and all that shit. If you haven't read it, you should. It's fantastic. Fantastic. It's great. It's gonna love it. I gotta stop saying fantastic because now it's a fucking thing.
It's a Trump thing.
Dude, I gotta stop saying it. It was extraordinary. It was yeah. So, I do that. Delete Trump. The movie, while it does a good job of being a standalone zombie movie, it's not World War Z, even remotely.
Right.
And I would love, and Brad Pitt I'm fine with him being the guy in it, but I would love to have the interviews like they were in the book and talking to people and all this, and not this fucking pseudo action thriller bullshit. Right. Just backstory. World War Z is about like the whole zombie war is done, and there's a guy that goes around to talk to people and document it, and that's great. And it's I'm gonna say it again. It's really cool. But then I get this movie, and it's all about Brad Pitt just flying around trying to find a cure. And I'm like, that's, what the fuck? I would love to just grab somebody and go, what the fuck is wrong with you? I wouldn't do, but my close second was I Am Legend.
That's what I was thinking. When you said low-hanging fruit, that's what I was expecting you to say. Oh, God,
I wanted to choke Will Smith.
You can check that review out at 0-residual.com.
There's another movie from Vincent Price called Last Man Standing. And it's actually based off, I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's actually based off of the book I Am Legend. It's just a different title. It's I Am Legend, but it's called Last Man Standing, or Last Man on Earth, or something.
If that's
like
true,
that.
then we are not friends anymore because you didn't tell me earlier.
That means you're dying first.
Yep.
We just solved that problem. Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
I still live.
Oh,
however,
it's out.
But that's our video for this week. If you like it, great. If you don't, we really don't care. That.
Sure.
Wow, he went.
Did.
Actually, he went like sideways. Jones.
Like he burped and
Do it again.
like,
Do it.
oh, that's my cue. sHUA.
we in reverse.
Mercer.
Sure.
Frost. We hope you like it, but if you don't,